Hello and welcome everyone. We are back after a gap of 3 days. I'm sorry I was traveling so I could not make these videos. We are back with the daily quiz for current affairs. I hope all of you are doing good and you're back here once again to test your knowledge about the day's current affairs. As always, I have a few questions from you from the topics that have been in the news on lines with the prelims examination. Attempt these questions and tell me in the comment section how many did you score. Also, the UPSC Prelims 2026 current affairs come test series, which I'm launching on my app, is starting from 13th of December. For any detail, my contact details are in the description of the video. Contact me, get in touch if you have any question about that. Let's begin with the first question then. I hope all of you are ready. Which of the following correctly describes a function not performed by RBI within the Indian constitutional and monetary framework? So what is it that RBI does not do? Issuing currency, managing currency circulation, acting as lender of last resort to the scheduled banks, acting as banker to the government of India, and framing and enforcing criminal laws related to bank fraud. Which of these is something the RBI does not do? Out of these, RBI does not frame or make criminal laws. So they do not have the power to make laws. Making laws, as you know, is specifically the power of the legislative. The RBI cannot do that. All the other things, that is the lender of the last resort, being the government's banker, all these are parts of the duties that the RBI performs. Simple question. Moving on to question number 2 then. Which Indian state houses a wetland called Vembanad Coal Wetland, one of the largest Ramsar sites in India? Is it Karnataka, is it Kerala, is it Tamil Nadu, or is it Andhra Pradesh? Wetlands are a lot in the news. They always remain a very important topic to be asked by the UPSC. In fact, a lot of these environmental conservation treaties have all been in the news because the UPSC does ask them quite considerably. You do have to read about the Ramsar sites in India, how many are there, and what are the latest ones. This one, that is the Vembanad Coal Wetland, this is in Kerala. It's a very, very famous wetland. It's a very important tourist spot in India as well. This is located in Kerala. Moving to question number 3 then. If a country's currency weakens sharply, as it is happening with India, which group of exporters is most likely to benefit, assuming that the global demand is stable? So when the currency weakens, we usually say the exporters will benefit, but which exporter usually will benefit the most first? Exporters relying heavily on imported inputs, exporters of raw material priced globally in dollars, exporters producing finished goods using mostly domestic inputs, exporters with fixed price contracts in foreign currency. Now let's look at these one by one. First, exporter who are relying on imported inputs, they will have to pay a higher price anyway, so they will not benefit a lot. So if you're making mobile phones in India, but you're importing battery and screen and processor, etc. from outside, then you anyways have to pay higher, so your profit will not increase. Exporters of raw material priced globally in dollars, no, they will also not really have a lot of impact, or because when it is priced globally in dollars only, you will get the same price. Producers or exporters who are producing finished goods mostly with domestic input, they are the ones who will benefit the most because they will be the one who will get the most value out of their products now in the international market because the rupee value is reducing. The answer thus is this B. Moving on to the next question then. A satellite in low Earth orbit is predicted to pass near a large piece of debris. Which mitigation action is most effective for collision avoidance? It's a very common thing when the satellites are on their path. They may be on the way to collide with a debris. Debris can be of any kind. It can be an old non-functional satellite in the space. It can be something else. So if there's a collision that may happen, what is the best course of action? Switching off the satellite communication temporarily, dropping a counterweight to deflect the debris, performing an orbital maneuver to alter altitude slightly, or sending a radio warning to ground stations. Which of these will avoid collision? So D will not avoid collision. It's mostly about telling what is happening. A also will not avoid collision. Avoiding collision, if you look at that, it can be B or C. So basically, it is actually B. If you drop counterweight to deflect the debris, it will not really help out. You will never know how the debris will react. It is usually the altitude is usually changed slightly. Either you basically go up or down so that you can miss the path of the debris. It's a very common thing that is taken up by many space agencies. So the answer here is B. Moving on then, question 5. If the government sharply increases indirect taxes on a widely consumed good, which short-term effect is most likely? So when the government increases indirect tax, what happens? Surge in consumption, the opposite. If the tax increase, why would people consume more? Fall in the government revenue, not necessarily. Pass through inflation affecting low income consumers, yes, that is what will happen. So pass through inflation basically means it will be passed on to the consumer, because the government has increased the taxes, the shopkeeper or the factory will not pay from their own pocket, they'll just pass it on, and the consumer will have to pay more, leading to inflation. The consumer at the lower level will be the one who will be most affected by this idea. Next, question number 6. Which of the following ancient Indian sites is known for proto-historic rock inscriptions in the Brahmi script dated 3rd century BCE? So which of these is most famous for proto-historic rock inscriptions? Aihole, Maski, Udayagiri, Mandu. Which of these is most famous for this? It's a very factual question. It is Maski in Karnataka. This is very well renowned because it has one of the earliest inscriptions which mention Devampiya Priyadasi, that is Ashoka's, the name given to Emperor Ashok. That's a name given here in these rock inscriptions. That is why it is extremely famous. It is in Karnataka. Next, question number 7. If India signs multiple bilateral agreements to import strategic minerals from diverse partners, what is the central geopolitical advantage? So, what advantage will a country get if you sign multiple such agreements? First, no need for domestic exploration. Not really. Guaranteed lowest global mineral prices. Again, there's no guarantee like that. Diversified supply chain, reducing vulnerability to disruptions. This is what you get if you sign a lot of trade agreements. This is why, for example, countries like India want to be in groups such as NSG, Nuclear Supplier Group, so that our supply of radioactive material is not restricted to a few countries. We can diversify our supply chain so that if our relationship becomes sour with a few countries, we still have other countries to fall back on. Next, question number 8. Which statement best captures the scope of judicial review in India? First, judiciary cannot review laws passed as money bills. Not really. Aadhaar bill is a prime example of that. Judicial review is limited to procedural aspect. No. Courts can strike down legislation or executive action violating fundamental rights or basic structure. Yes, this is correct. If you look at this is what the idea of judicial review is. It is quite well defined in Article 13 and then expanded by the Supreme Court in cases such as the Keshananda Bharti case. Thus, the answer remains B. I hope all of you got most of the questions right. It was a pretty easy quiz today. Do tell me in the comment section how many did you get right. And if you need any other information about the quickly starting prelims, test series and crash course for current affairs, do contact me. My contact details are in the description of the video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.